The Daily Trust, of course, had done the expose over the weekend where they relayed the 2.9 trillion that had been spent on projects in Lagos State. The presidency has responded and given an outline of what they're saying the equitable share of projects. However, this explanation removed Lagos State. It looked at the rest of the country, but still negated Lagos State, whereas the question was, why is Lagos State lopsided in comparison to other regions? So why are we not hitting the nail on the head here?
Let me tell you why Lagos State is different. Lagos State is a no man's land. In the last election, the president who comes from the southwest did not win Lagos. That tells you the cosmopolitan nature of Lagos State. Secondly, the richest man in Africa is a northerner. His business is not in Kano, it's in Lagos. Almost every rich man that you know in Nigeria has business undertaking in Lagos. And the Nigerian people are represented in Lagos. You go to Lagos, if not because probably majority of the people are Yoruba speaking, you will wonder whether Lagos indeed is from the southwest. London.
You guys, explanation don't start oh. Plenty explanation don't start. I'm sure you've watched that interview. Okay, let me tell you what is actually the updates. You know that after that interview, it came on social media. Obviously, people screenshot it, screen recorded it, put it on social media. All the Ronus come out from your case. You like attacking certain persons because you said that they're not appreciative of you. They should go back to their region because they claim that Lagos is no man's land. Lagos is not no man's land. Lagos is Yoruba land. You come here, you dominate, you take over all our properties. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and also not funny because it's really affecting the thrill of our unity. It's affecting the country as it stands right now. Bigotry, nepotism is the order of the day. It's what everyone talks about. You would try to criticize issues in the politics, they will say you're a bigot. They will say it's because you're a hater of Tinubu. That's why you're criticizing. What is this? Everything. They will shout at you. They will be condescending. So, when Bwala made that statement concerning certain projects that excludes Lagos State, because there are talks about the administration of President Bwala Ahmed Tinubu, and the talk is the fact that he feels that since he took office in 2023, he has been facing accusations of nepotism and regional bias, and that the criticisms have actually grown louder, especially from the northern parts of Nigeria. So you know that in July, the NNPP presidential candidate in 2023, Rabiu Kwankwaso, openly challenged the administration during a public hearing on the Constitution Review in Kano. He accused the federal government of unfairly distributing national resources, claiming the North is being sidelined. So Daniel Bwala, in trying to explain all of this, said the reason why the president excluded Lagos from Southwest is to show balanced development spending across regions. And then he went ahead to say Lagos is no man's land. So they were not like, a presidential spokesperson is the one validating that Lagos is no man's land. And I want you to know that the phrase Lagos is no man's land was made by Shehu Shagari. It wasn't made by certain elements or certain people from certain ethnic regions, as some Ronus are actually accusing them of. So when Daniel Bwala made this statement, they were like, material don't come out. Oh, see APC spokesperson, see President Tinubu spokesperson, rather, not APC. APC have their spokespersons. Felix Morka is one of the spokespersons of the All Progressives Congress. I'm talking about the president's spokesperson. And they were like, Daniel Bwala is the one using his mouth to say this, that Lagos State is no man's land. Will I say they went to Oga's DM that, what are you doing? What did you go to say on national TV? How can you say Lagos is no man's land when you know that Lagos is Yoruba land? We've been fighting people wanting to come and take over our land, to dominate us, to kiniko, and you dare go on national TV to say Lagos is no man's land. I'm sure they don't bury the guy. Baba don't come out though, so people are taking what he said out of context. He said that people are already misinterpreting what he said about Lagos State and investments by the Tinubu government during an earlier interview. This interview was, I think, on Wednesday. And during the interview, he described Lagos as no man's land. So Bwala, during a particular program on another television station, that's Arise television station, it's a daybreak program, argue that the concentration of federal projects in Lagos should not be seen as favoritism, but as investment in the country's commercial hub. He said that, for example, he had to emphasize that his statement during that interview is not in any way meant to contend that Lagos belongs to the Yoruba people. He added that the unique identity of Lagos as a Yoruba homeland is settled and beyond dispute. He explained that his argument was for Lagos to benefit from massive investments in infrastructure to sustain the economic and social responsibilities it shoulders not only in Nigeria but in West Africa. So he said, culturally, historically, and constitutionally, Lagos belongs to the Yoruba people, and that it has never been in contention whatsoever that the unique identity of Lagos rather as a Yoruba homeland is settled and beyond dispute. But the question is, why would people take what he said to that extent by making it to seem as if Bwala was aligning with certain voices that Lagos is no man's land? Obviously, Lagos is Yoruba land. I don't think anybody is contending with that. But it's just that Lagos is a commercial hub, right? Of course, and it accommodates everyone from several regions, from several countries. Lagos basically accommodates everyone. And somehow, he even made a statement that even when some people speak in Lagos, you will barely even recognize the real historical, cultural identity of Lagos State because of how people have intertwined with the state. Foreigners, both home and abroad, everyone has come into Lagos, decided to settle there and become a part of the city, a part of the state. And so it's almost like a multicultural modern city, but it doesn't dispute the fact that it's a Yoruba land. So I don't think anybody needs to explain that to anyone. But then he had to come and clarify because it already buried Baba for sand. Say, why do you call national television to make that statement? People are already holding on to what you just said. That is Tinubu saying that Lagos State is no man's land. The president himself, who is Omo Yoruba, Lokan, how can you say that Lagos State is no man's land? You're speaking on behalf of the president. Who asked you to respond like that? Who said you should make such a statement? They don't woto. Baba had to come and shalaye on X to explain further that that's not what he meant. It's not in contention. It's not in dispute. You people, we never know what's in the world runner for this country. One lie. We never ready. We never ready. There are issues. People they suffer. We not really talk that word. People are hungry. People are dying. Literally on a daily basis. These are issues to contend with. But every time it's all about, it's our state, it's not our state. You're lighter. Anyway, let's move on to security. Dati Baba Ahmed in a very recent interview actually said quite a lot. You're going to be watching that. He has actually made a lot of reference to the fact that the government of the day is sponsoring terrorism against its own people. El Rufai's statement was a question that was asked when he said that the government of the day pays bandits monthly. And Dati Baba Ahmed said that the NSA was not just meant to come out and give a rebuttal. He was meant to have invited El Rufai to give them details, names of persons who are collecting, giving money to these terrorists. But because they know it's the truth, they have not invited him. The anchor now asks, what if they do? And you say, it's because he's in the opposition. And Dati Baba Ahmed, there are ways to go about it. It doesn't have to seem as if you're suppressing somebody. It's a way of you trying to say, let's work together. Let us know this person that we're collecting money. Maybe we don't know, and let's investigate this. At least, not to just come out and give a rebuttal and say what El Rufai is saying is not the truth. In fact, he was the one that paid bandits when he was the governor of Kaduna State. Is that enough to dispute what El Rufai is saying as a claim? Dati Baba Ahmed then went on to recount personal experiences he has had with insecurity, how his cousin, his nephew was kidnapped, and what he recounted, what he said, how much money was paid. He said those persons are making money on a daily basis. It's crazy. Very crazy. But hey, watch it. Let me know what you think, and now let me know your perception as to some of the issues discussed right here. All right, on the comment section. Make sure you subscribe and follow. Bye for now.
Do we really have a government if somebody who sold Nigeria's assets for 4 years at BPE, served as FCT minister for 4 years, and served as governor, would say that there is a national policy of paying bandits? Do we have a government? Am I a citizen? Are you a citizen? Does Nigeria exist? Or do a pack of people live in a certain territory with another group of people claiming to misrule them. Do we have a government? Do we have a nation? What are we doing? Are people understanding the gravity of this statement? National policy is official position of government, an official declaration that this is what we shall be constitutionally doing, what we shall be legally pursuing. That's what we call a national policy. It is made public, it is celebrated, it is broadcast to the whole world. Was such a thing held? Why did Nasiru say it? If the office, so-called Office of National Security Advisor will take this statement with levity, then Nuhu Ribadu was never a policeman. Reaction.
If you were the NSA, what would you be doing?
And Nasiru should be writing some comments by now, some statements to the police, to the courts. If the position of Nigeria, the so-called APC government of Uncle Tinubu, if their official position is to be compensating bandits, paying bandits, then we don't have a nation.
So your inference tonight is that whatever Malam Nasir has said in that respect, which we played back,
yes,
if it's not true, the government of the day should be taken more seriously.
Yes, and so long as it passes by with the so-called, what you call reaction of the answer, then it is true. And I tend to agree that it could be true.
But if for example, I was going to ask
before this one, another almost 8-year governor of Borno State said that there are informants of terrorists in the Nigerian military and among Nigerian politicians, and it is official. You have the evidence. Before then, there was another politician who again said that bandits and terrorists were brought into Nigeria pre-2015 election. These are even small ones. Do you remember? Now, what I'm about to say and my arguments are that insecurity is part of APC. Insecurity has been APC's way of getting power. Insecurity has been part of APC's way of staying in power.
Is that fact or just your opinion?
That is my candid, firm opinion that is being strengthened by the kind of unfortunate comments like that of Nasiru.
So
2 days ago.
But there are no facts to what you're saying. There are no facts to what you're saying.
There are facts.
If there are opinions.
3 statements of politicians, government functionaries that are undisputed. I have given you this. Go back in time. Do you remember that a former Nigerian president was attacked by terrorists? Unprecedented, never in the history of Nigeria did that happen. Do you also remember that I made a passing statement on that in 2022, which, as usual, people didn't take seriously? Why did some young men in the forest in the northeast, what business do they have? When Nigerian leaders leave, they are liked, they are loved, they are forgiven all their errors and everything. This one, they followed and tried to kill him. Why did that happen? What happened in all the donations leading up to 2015? Why decide to come back and run in 2015 after crying and telling the whole world you're no longer contesting? What was the link with North Africa? What was the link with Muammar Gaddafi? He's not alive, but others are alive to say it. Pain. Believe me. Nigeria is a great country, should be a great country, and we have people destroying us by the hour. Insecurity has been part of APC's game. And Nasiru is saying it, and I think he's right. The government has been paying them.
Well, you don't
Last
have
year,
factors.
this time, I have facts.
No, the government has said no, they are not paying them.
They are paying them because the reaction of ONSA is not disputing what Nasiru has said.
You are inferring that the NSA should arrest Nasiru
No, I'm not interested.
or collect his statement. But if that happens, there are those in opposition that will say they are going after opposition voices.
There are more ways to counter such a position. I told you about 2015. You see, going after a former Nigerian president, trying to kill him. What does that tell you? Something. Before that, what had happened? After Jonathan won in the Supreme Court, they called for dialogue, and those young men nominated a former Nigerian president who took 3 days to repudiate. After those 3 days, go and plot the graph. You will see that between 2012 to 2014, the spikes of attacks around those villages in the northeast skyrocketed because hunger, lack of medicine. Why? Because somebody had stopped sending the recurrent expenses of those people who used to come all the way to Kaduna, collect, and then go back. And that's how the cycle went. In protest as to why did you call that name, they couldn't bear it anymore and felt by 2014 the best thing was to go and attempt. It failed. We're lucky. They got Jonathan scared. He thought that, oh, if they kill this man, Nigeria will burn. They provided him with additional cars, more money, and it was all about money. It was all about collecting money. The truth is that somebody had gone to North Africa, negotiated with Gaddafi. Gaddafi, who is was an international terrorist, all over the world, from the far west to the far east, said, I will help you, like I've been doing. I heard there are some young men. There are plans to kill Gaddafi, not in a palace coup, but through uprising. If it fails and you become president, I will retire to your country if you become president. If it doesn't fail, right now, he wanted to create a buffer. So he sent Saif al-Islam, go on YouTube and find out, to Niger with money, cash, millions of dollars in his boot, to recruit Tuaregs to go and fight in Libya. Sent his former general to Mali, why you still have insecurity in Mali. In Nigeria, they gave crazy amount of money to that gentleman. Go and help these people with the intention of bringing them to fight in Libya. When Gaddafi died, they sat on the money. They kept on with the recurrent until after mentioning the name, and then they stopped sending the money. They became, now all these things are linked. They wanted Nigeria to burn if Buhari did not become president in 2015. I contested alongside Buhari for Senate. I contested for Senate in 2011. You have it on YouTube. He said, blood, soaked in blood, the baboon and the... Ever since he made that comment, I refused to go and campaign with Buhari. Refused completely. It didn't matter if I lost the Senate seat. I won it eventually. Insecure for a former president to say, you soak in blood. And then there was, Kaduna is my state. There was serious violence in Kaduna. Many houses were burnt. Emir's houses in Ongwansariki, Demna Abba had their houses burnt and all that, simply because of a statement. They went and brought in people from those neighboring places in readiness to remove Jonathan by all means. So the desperation of people to get Jonathan out of power has built up and added to what we call insecurity in Nigeria today.
So you